China has ended its lockdowns. Does that mean that business traveling into China is once again possible?
Of course, that's not the case. The local lockdowns in China have to be taken into account to prepare your own travel. Furthermore, the strict and sometimes intransparent measures on the Chinese side are still in place, especially in regard to quarantine measures, in regard to testing, and in regard to the visa application process.
So what does that mean in the daily business of a mechanical engineering company dealing with China?
Actually, we get a lot of calls and reactions from our member companies that due to the lack of coordination of all these measures by the Chinese side, it's no longer possible to travel. And then we should also take into account that quite a number of service technicians and specialists are no longer willing to travel to China for our member companies because it's so unpredictable what will happen over there. So remote access is also not always possible because of lack of knowledge on the other side, and also installations cannot be done.
So what are the consequences for China itself then?
Of course, also on the Chinese side, projects have to be delayed, projects cannot bring to an end, installations and commissioning for machinery and equipment cannot be done, so that definitely is in relation to the competitiveness of the local customers. Knowledge transfer from person to person is no longer possible, and of course China is very willing to be on the state-of-the-art technology edge, and there is definitely now a lack of knowledge transfer. And that will definitely hurt China by the end of the day also. Yeah.
What would be the demands of VDMA towards the Chinese authorities?
Currently, in respect to traveling to China, we have 4 demands. The first demand is very clear: to delete the quarantine measures for fully vaccinated people, for example, to delete the requirement to have a PU invitation before you even can apply for a visa. Then, of course, to issue more multiple entry visa, long-term visa, like they have done before, so that travel is better planned. And of course, then we need an improvement by the numbers of international flights for the international airlines, for example.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.